Hello, my name is Elmira Mirzanovna. I'm teacher of English, and today we speak about comparatives and superlatives. You have been already taught regarding comparatives and superlatives, so today we just focus mainly on revision and consolidation. So let's start. We use comparatives to compare two separate things. Example, Mary is a better player than Monica. And we use superlatives to compare one thing in a group with all the others. Let's see an example of superlative. Sarah is the best player in the team. You see the difference between better and the best. Comparative adjectives with one syllable are normally formed by adding er to the adjective. Example, lawn, lawner. In one-syllable words ending with one consonant, the final consonant is doubled. Example, big, bigger. Words ending in consonant plus y change y to I. Dry, drier. Superlative adjectives with one syllable are normally formed by adding est to the adjective. Examples, lawn, the lawnest, big, the biggest, dry, the driest. Comparative adjectives with two or more syllables are normally formed with more. Interesting, more interesting. Superlative adjectives with two or more syllables are normally formed with most. Interesting, the most interesting. These adjectives form their comparative and superlatives in irregular forms. Please remember them. Good, better, the best, bad, worse, the worst, far, farther, or you can say also further, the farthest, or furthest, little, less, the least, much and many. For comparative have more, for superlative the most, old, elder, or older, and superlative form the eldest, the oldest. One-syllable adjectives ending in ed. Examples, bought, more bought, tied, more tied. Remember also these adjectives because they can be formed in either way. They can form their comparative and superlative form as a one-syllable word and as a two or more syllable word. So the following adjectives should be taken into consideration: common, white, tide, clever, polite, simple, narrow, shallow. So we can say common, commoner, the commonest, or we can say common, more common, the most common. You can also, let's take one more example, simple, simpler, the simplest, or you can say more simple, the most simple. We can use then after comparatives. Here, example with then. It's cheaper to go by bus than by train. If you want to say that there is a big difference, we use much, far, or a lot before comparatives. For example, we can say that place was noisy. But if you want to say that that place was much noisier than the other place, you can use these words. So that place was much noisier, or that place was far noisier, or a lot, yes, noisier. And if there is a small difference, you can use slightly, a little, a bit. And here we have also an example. This bag is slightly heavier than other one. Now we speak about the other ways to make comparisons. We can say the same as, or as, or just as when we want to say that two people or things are identical. For example, her dress is the same as mine, or Mary is just as good as Monica. And when we say that two people or things are not identical, when they are different, we can use structures like not as, or different from, or different to. Examples here: it's not as big as other two places. It was different from anything else we've seen. Here we have some tips. Please keep in mind that with as or not as, we don't use them. And we use the adjective, not the comparative form. Please keep in mind. When we say that something is changing continuously, we can use structures of this kind: get or become, plus more and more, plus adjective. Or get or become, plus comparative, plus and comparative. For example, your English is getting better and better. Or now, another example, it's becoming more and more difficult to find a job. When we say that one thing depends on the other, we can use structure like this: the plus comparative, and then in the second part of the sentence also the plus comparative. Let's see examples. The sooner we leave, the sooner we arrive. Or the younger you are, the easier it is to learn. Now please look at these tips. Before superlatives, we use the definite article the. Today is the hottest day of the year. Or before superlative, we use possessives. He is Jane's best friend. Or we use possessive adjectives. He is our richest relative. After superlatives, we use prepositions in or of. Please don't confuse them. In we use with the places and the groups of people. And of we use for a period of time. So look at these examples. Who is the best student in the class? Here we use preposition in. And in this sentence, what was the happiest day of your life? Here we use preposition of. And after superlatives, we often use present perfect. Example here, what's the best film you've ever seen? After then or as, we can use an object pronoun. Here in the brackets, some examples of object pronouns are given. Or a subject pronoun, like I, he, she, etc., with auxiliary verb. So we can say, she is taller than me, with object pronoun. Or we can say, she is taller than I am, subject pronoun with auxiliary verb, but not she is taller than I. It's wrong. Or we can say, they are not as busy as us, object pronoun. They are not as busy as we are, subject pronoun with auxiliary verb, but not they are as busy as we. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention.